Malaysian Airlines are the number one airline carrier for Malaysia. This is primarily based at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Its airport code is KUL. It's a certified 4-star airline with high recognitions being for its cabin crew service. The MH370 aircraft was a Boeing 777-2H6CR plane, which was created in 2002. The flight code of the aircraft was MH370. That's what people know about the flight instead of calling it Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. The plane had a total airframe hour of 53,747 hours, as well as a cycle of 7,526 flights. The engine model was a Rolls-Royce Trent 892B. The aircraft flew the same flight route just a week before the incident occurred, with the same pilots at the control. The 777 was scheduled from Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia to Beijing International Airport in China. The flight was meant to take 6 hours and 20 minutes, flying over the Indian Ocean. The flight went dark, which means all communications with the flight disconnected. The last satellite communication was delivered at 8:19 a.m. GMT +8, which is 1 a.m. BST. This would be the final transmission any human contact would have with the flight in a while. The flight, although, was tracked by the Malaysian military as it flew over the Malaysian peninsula. The pilot made a mistake when he was flying over the Indian Ocean. This was connected to the SATCOM and sent radio signals to the radio station in Perth. There are multiple theories that people can come up with on what's happened with the flight and what's occurred. These are as follows: a freak accident, pilot murder-suicide with controlled descent, pilot murder-suicide without a controlled descent, the plane was hijacked by terrorists, the plane landed safely on an island, the plane was hijacked by aliens, sucked into a black hole or shot down. Although they are just theories, it doesn't determine overall what happened. Neither do you have to believe what's happened. Although one of these could be true, for all anyone knows, we can't jump to overall conclusions and say one of them is definitely true. The aircraft damage was logged as destroyed, written off. Although the search was stopped by the main company when they were constantly getting it wrong with the location. Other small companies have started looking into it and trying to collect information regarding what's happened. Also, there has been some debris that have washed up on beaches of multiple countries, which was from the aircraft. This hasn't shown the exact location it crashed, although it has shown that the aircraft did crash somewhere around the Indian Ocean. They've also used the accidental satellite communications that was transmitted with radio communication station in Perth to pinpoint an arc on the location of the aircraft. I believe the flight was a murder-suicide incident. This is due to multiple factors as well as doing research into it. I believe the pilot planned this out for a while, as well as practiced the route beforehand. This was due to the pilot carrying out a specific route. These routes always must be carefully planned out, as well as to ensure nothing goes wrong upon flying them. As well as this, pilots always encouraged to practice their flights on a flight simulator before doing them, so they are aware of it. Also, due to there not being any communications to the real world of passengers of the aircraft, this could show that the pilots had incapacitated them, where he would purposely decrease the oxygen levels in the cabin, although he would have to keep the aircraft flying at its primary altitude of 35,000 feet for them not to get the correct level of oxygen. Due to the level of oxygen not changing, everyone went unconscious and eventually lost their lives. The captain, although, had an oxygen mask, which gave him hours of airflow. In the end of it, he removed which caused him to lose his life after putting the plane into a rapid descent. This, although, is what I believe to have happened. This doesn't mean it's true. Neither do you have to believe this. Although the last radio transmission made to the flight is something that should have never been said upon any flight. This was saying goodnight Malaysian 370. The overall conclusion of this is that no one understands what happened. It remains one of the major mysteries of all times. Although, with certain things occurring, it is found that little bits are slowly coming together. Due to us knowing that something was turned on again due to Perth Station suddenly connecting to a flight, and due to it being crashed into the ocean.